Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Skool Morning Show. This is a daily morning show where we talk about how to grow and monetize online communities, specifically schools. And it is Friday, TGIF. I'm Eric. Hello, Jenna. How are you?
I am alive. That's the good thing.
Well, I got a question for you. What did you eat for lunch yesterday? Eh?
I don't know. You're asking somebody with like memory of a goldfish when it comes to those kinds of things.
Well, yesterday I ate a salad.
A salad.
Yeah, you want to ask me what kind?
What kind of salad?
I ate a chicken Caesar. But it got me thinking, chicken Caesar, but does chicken ever really hear her? Does chicken understand her? You know what I mean? It just got me thinking.
Oh, the dad jokes are another level today.
Yep, that's how we're starting it out.
It's so funny. There was something the other day where they were giving this girl this hard time for being single, and it cracked me up because they were like, "Are you having a hard time picking up guys?" And she like looks around and she just starts picking him up physically. She's like, "Nope, this is easy. They're all lightweights," and like it was so funny.
Sounds like me.
was like,
This is
yeah.
on the spectrum. It's just too literal.
Too literal. She was like, "Not if you use your knees." I'm like, what? What is happening right now?
If you're new to our morning shows, this is pretty much how everyone starts because we like to give people a minute to get in here, and so we just tell random dad jokes while we wait.
Yeah, the random dad jokes are another level.
They really are.
If you have a dad joke and you want us to share it on live, make sure you comment it on one of our posts, either in the Traffic School or What is School, because we will definitely share your dad jokes at the beginning of a thing, and we'll give you credit too.
Yeah. Well, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about workshops as a traffic source.
Ooh, this is one that I think a lot of people are going to really like. See, a lot of people, actually, I really don't see that many people doing workshops to get new members. And the few people that I do see doing it are having a lot of success. But before we get into it, remember, if you want to chat with us live, post in What is School. Just want to make sure I remind everyone once again, we get a lot of YouTube comments and I like them. I do. But post it in What is School and I'll bring it up.
Awesome. All right. So when we were thinking about doing this, there's so many different ways, and there's different words that you can use. Like some people will use the word.
Sorry, got a comment.
Oh, nice.
Let me pull this up and then we can get into it because I just want
Okay.
to show everybody some proof here. Megan did a free workshop in her community, got 500 of her members that
Whoa.
way. So there's proof. There's proof enough that it works. So now we'll get into it.
That's awesome. Congrats, Megan. That's great. Amazing. I would definitely say there's different ways to do it. You could do the workshop in your own and advertise that you're having a workshop. That's a really good one. And then there's also doing workshops in maybe like different, you could do them in person. You could do them in somebody else's community. You could do them even live. There's people that do workshops as a YouTube video, and then they record the whole thing and then funnel people that way.
Yep.
So you could do any of those, and you could do all of them too. Like there's nothing saying that you can only do one of them.
There's lots of
And
ways.
there's different wording that people use. So most people know webinars, right?
Yeah. That's the
Webinars-
original one that I heard. Was webinars.
Yeah, webinars tend to be that more technical term, and people have felt like, oh, a webinar I'm going to be really sold to. Like it's just about selling me, right? And then there's the workshops, which is like they feel like they are going to do work. So they come prepared to listen and take action at the same time.
I feel like I'm going to get more value, it's that word value, but I feel like I'm going to get more out of a workshop than a webinar. You know what I mean?
And then there's master classes, right? Master class is pretty much like a shorter version of a webinar, right? And then you have like intensives and all those things where it's like over 3 days or whatever,
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about the one that I think most people could be able to do. And that's the reason for that is that I want to give you the most easy way that anybody that's listening could go out there and do next week if they wanted to. Like you could prep over the weekend and then you could go out there and start doing this. So if there is other ways or you have other tips, we would love to have somebody on that also talks about how they do their workshops another way. But just during this one is going to be specifically for like the majority of people because there's tons of different ways to do it. Right?
Mhm. That's right. That is right.
Yeah. So we are gonna pull this up and give me just 1 second
Okay.
as I make sure that I did everything. You know, in the mornings, some days I'm like, did I pin that? Did I actually put that where it needed to be?
While you're pulling
So,
that up, I'm going to pull up a couple of comments while we wait. Um, this is actually a pretty good comment from Mike. Mike pays for Zoom webinars monthly. I'm really interested in a workshop format to get away from Zoom. Yeah, and you can do webinars with Skool. There's the Skool webinar. We're using StreamYard right now. It also has a webinar function, but there's a lot of people that just do it on YouTube, just do it on Skool, and yeah, we'll get into all that here in just a moment. And then I got one more.
oh no. Hold on 1 second. Eric must have bumped something on accident. You know, that's just what happens sometimes. So he'll be right back with us in just a moment. All right. Eric, do we have you back with us? You're
Yep,
muted.
I am back. Yeah, the technology, it's very, very fragile. I'll just say that.
Okay. It happens.
Allison definitely wants to do something like this in the near future, so she'll be watching the replay. Hello, Allison, in the future. Hopefully, AI has not taken over the world and robots are roaming the streets, but we're here in the future and we're safe. So I'm glad you're watching back.
Nice. Well, I think she meant in the future. Like she's gonna watch now, and then she's gonna remember
Okay.
it for later.
I thought maybe she's watching it like 20 years or so from now.
No.
Okay, good.
You're so funny. All right. So, okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Da, da, da. And I tried to format this well. You know, when you're multitasking as a mom, you don't like the format, copy, paste, and do your own. That is how this morning is.
There you go.
All
This
right.
is one of them days. We got our coffee.
So, we're going to talk about workshops as a traffic source. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to pick a topic. So the reason why I say start with picking a topic is because before you're pitching it to anybody, before you're telling anybody about it, you need to know exactly what you're going into, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times what I see people think about is like, oh, I want to do it, and I want to go talk to other community owners, see if they're even interested before I even create the workshop that I'm going to do.
So this is the type of workshop we're doing. I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but the type of workshop that we're talking about today is giving it in other communities. Is that right?
Correct. And
Okay.
it doesn't even matter if, like, I've written it in a way where you can do it for if you're going to do it on YouTube or not, right?
Okay. Makes sense.
You just have to be creative.
Gotcha.
But just so you know, green is not a creative color.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Have you never seen that YouTube?
No, but I like
Oh
green.
man, you're gonna have to see. Yeah. Let's just keep continuing before we
Okay.
get on this.
Let's not get on our ADHD tangents right now.
So, what I want you to do is I want you to work on your workshop first. Whether you're gonna do it in a different community, if you're gonna do it for yourself, you're gonna do it in public, wherever. But pick your topic. The reason is like you need to know what you're talking about. It cannot be theory in your head. It cannot be theory in your head that you're going to do a workshop. It cannot be theory that you're going to have an outcome, that you're going to know the layout of your workshop, your presentation. And you do not want to have to put any kind of pressure, especially if you're dealing with another community owner, on what you're labeling it as, what you're going to title it as, what the outcome is. Because if you're just trying to get like feelers out there, it's not secure enough. It's not stable enough. I want you to have a one, pick your topic. What is it going to be? It should probably be like the first step. It's preparing people to be in your community.
Yeah. Well,
So,
even as another community owner, if you were to approach me with a workshop and like, well, what are you talking about? I don't really know. I'm just gonna kind of yap. Like, okay, well, you're not talking to my community.
yeah. It's like, well, my community is about this and we'll create a workshop. And it's like, no, talk to me once you've created it, right? Because it's hard for me, and this happens a lot. And people in life do this, and it's okay, but like maybe let's rework the way that we do this. Meaning, you ask a question or you ask for permission or you ask for somebody to say yes to something, but you didn't give them enough information to say yes to, right? It would be like somebody asking if they want to post something inside Schoolers, right? They're like, hey, can I post this in Schoolers? And I'm like, well, what is it? And they're like, oh, I just wanted to talk about such and such. And I'm like, well, if I haven't seen the post and you're asking permission, I'm not going to say yes. Like, I don't want my name tied to saying yes to something that I haven't seen, right? I'm
Right.
like, just don't even ask permission. Just post it and we'll find out. We'll find out together if it's going to stay. Same with this is like if you're asking somebody to like, can you host a workshop for me? Make sure that they know enough information that yeah, they could say yes to, right?
Correct.
So, but when you're picking the topic, solve one clear problem for the ideal member. Like remember, if they're thinking about joining your community, you want it to solve a problem for them. Remember we talked about quick wins earlier. And if your workshop can provide them the quick win that they need prior to joining your community, and it's like basically prepping them for them to be inside your community, then not only are they going to feel like it was like worth their time, it's usually going to be something that an owner is going to go, yeah, that makes sense. Like, let's do that. And it should be tied to what your community is going to be helping them with further. Sometimes people look at workshops and as they're picking their topic, they're thinking that they're going to just give them everything they need for that one area. I would say no, you need to make it the first baby step because if you give them everything they need on that, a lot of times people will be like, well, why do I need more?
Yeah, that was the first question I was gonna ask you is how do you determine what information you give away for free and what information you actually give away and you're paid? So what you're saying is just kind of the first step of whatever it is you teach.
Yeah. So it would be like, it's kind of like tying your shoes, right? So I know this is so funny, but if you're talking about trying to help somebody with like tying their shoes, sometimes you could even just help them by having a shoe that doesn't need to be tied yet. Because like if you're like, I need to actually help you with tying your shoe, but if you're not gonna be with me, like if you're not joining my community, I want you to still have a win that's gonna last. So maybe get some Crocs, dude. You know.
So it needs to be the baby step, but it still needs to have some kind of outcome.
Yes, and name it. This is the other part is name what your workshop is because it's going to help you when you're even pitching it to an owner. Be like, "Hey, I have a workshop on tying shoes." And like why am I picking tying shoes? I don't know.
It's a great example. Keep going with it.
But make it an obvious outcome. Like they need to know cuz like how many times have you had to say, "Hey, I'm going to have somebody do a talk in my community," and you're like, what am I even naming this talk? What am I putting in the calendar right now? Like, what is this? If you already have done the job as the owner naming your own workshop, one, you're more likely going to have people come and show
Yeah.
up because
Yeah.
if they had to figure it out, they might just be like such and such name workshop or this community's name workshop. And then it's like, do I really even want to be there when you could do the research just like we did the other day and find out what is the target audience most interested in? What is the words they're using, right?
Yeah.
So name it, make sure it's obvious so the people that would want to be there will show up.
Makes sense.
Now, this is more of doing like make sure that you put a section in there to remind you to do this, okay? This is like when you're doing the workshop, but it's getting permission up front. And so I would put like a little indicator because it helps build the trust as you're doing the workshop with everybody, right? You're getting the permission up front to pitch them at the end, right?
Okay. Well, I've been in a lot of different webinars, a lot of workshops, and I have always heard that. Like they'll say, "Hey, I'm gonna, offer you something at the end." What is the reason they do that? Like you said, to build more trust, or is it so it's that they're not being like, coming out of left field? Is that why? Or
It's giving them. I think what you're doing is you're setting up the mindset, right? I mean,
hmm
there's probably a lot of different answers for this. Like, someone will have an answer of like, "Oh, I do this because I want them to know that they're going to be pitched to at the end." Or someone would say, "No, it's part of the tactic for psychology." And did you know that there was this test done in Harvard? Like, whatever. Ultimately, what I say is that you're letting them know kind of like the structure. You're letting people have the preparedness to get going with what you're going to do today, what this is going to be about. And it's making them not feel like they're being completely sold to. Like, yes, you're selling them, but you're also giving them the release of like, oh, this isn't titled a workshop and it's actually a webinar, you know?
exactly, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So you go like, today we're going to be going over tying shoes. At the end of this, you will have something that you can wear. Like you will know what you're going to wear for your feet.
These
Um,
Nikes have been sitting in the box for 6
yeah.
months, and I haven't put them on yet because I haven't figured this out.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you couldn't just buy them and they wouldn't just magically appear, right? um, this is a Friday morning for sure. But it's like you let them know, hey, this is the outcome that you're gonna get from it, because like obviously it's gonna tie into the name, and you're kind of giving them that, like when you go into a call, you kind of like you don't know this person yet, right? Or maybe
hmm
you've heard of them or something, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get ready to be pitched. Gonna get ready to be hardcore sold. I'm gonna have to have my listeners' ears on because I am the person that's gullible and I will say yes to everything. You know, like you're
Yeah.
trying to. Have you ever been to like a timeshare thing where they're like,
Oh
you
God,
guys can
yes,
stay? Yeah, you guys sit
yes,
through this whole presentation. You're just like, I know how to say no. I know how to
yeah.
say no. I know how to say no.
It's hard too because they do not want you to say no.
Right. No, they've been trained, very trained, and that like their livelihood depends on it, so they're doing
hmm
their job. But in this case, you're kind of like letting people that had any kind of tension or like like they how the little sus gif where he's like squinting his eyes. You don't want them coming into your workshop with like little squinty eyes, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you're like, all right, we're going to state the outcome. This is what we're going to do it. And then you ask them permission. Is it okay that if we get you this outcome and you feel like I delivered on the value that I said, is it okay if I just mention like how you could get more help? Like what
hmm
it is that I do? Is everybody okay with that? Does that seem fair? And you're basically leading them to say yes, of course. If
And I'm
somebody
gonna
says no,
cringe when
it's
I do
like,
that. I'm gonna so cringe when I say that, just because that's just a mindset that I gotta overcome. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that relate to that.
and sometimes, you know what? Learning to be okay with being cringe is a huge part of being a business owner, because guess what? It's cringy sometimes. Like for
Yeah.
me, this document is not how I want it, but this document is cringe, right? I'm talking into my microphone trying to get it all set up, and this is not how I would do it. It's like there's not enough space, whatever. But I also said that I would do this subject today, but I also have my kid that I'm trying to get better on a better sleep schedule and all this. And like, man,
Mhm.
if you could see, I'm basically a raccoon right now. I got those dark circles.
Well, I think
So,
people appreciate showing up as you are and being a real person, because sometimes I don't necessarily want to learn from somebody that has it all together. I like to hear a real human talk to me. That's just me, though.
right. And so yeah, just do it anyways. Like what's gonna happen? Like you can do another one. If I feel like, oh, I did a okayish job, you know what? Next week when you see me do this again, just kidding. Not
No,
next
but
week, but later
seriously,
on. You can.
though, I feel the same way about content. Okay, a video flopped. Make 100 more. What's the
Yep.
problem?
And same with your workshops. You might do one really, you might have to bleep me out, but one really shitty workshop. And if it's your first one, don't let it like beat you up. Just because one sucked or whatever, or the people were just not vibing with it, you know what? Like just
hmm
get through it like you said you would, and then go do another one. In
hmm
fact, it's I know I'm like going on tangents today, but oh well. There's a saying, like, I used to train horses back in the day, and if you got thrown off your horse, you immediately had to get right back on, because there is this little the time between you getting thrown off a horse and getting back on that horse. The longer the time is, the greater your fear is going to be
Yeah.
to get back on.
Yep.
I
That's exactly
remember
right.
I remember I was thrown really hard. I was the person, like, my horses trained well because I had trained horses. And then when we would go do rodeo stuff, if somebody's horse was acting up, they'd ask me to get on the horse. And I would do it. But man, some of those things were mean, like mean suckers. And you're sitting on 1,200 pounds that could crush you. And I didn't always get thrown off, but if I did, and then one time I didn't get back on because it just felt too dangerous. But I remember even getting back on my own horse felt scary.
Yeah.
So that was a big lesson for me. Is like, as soon as it doesn't matter if it's a horse, if it's a workshop,
Get
if
back
it's
on the saddle.
sales call or anything, even customer service. If somebody's gonna like cuss you out, like that happens even on Skool. Like you could have a rule in a community and then you're going to get like ripped to shreds. You know what? Get back out there and just keep doing your job. Just keep showing up, for you that you did your best, right?
I
So-
couldn't agree more.
Mini tangent of like, get back on that horse. Ready? We'll get back on this horse. Lead with value. So make sure you're giving them a real result, not just information. This is where I think sometimes people struggle with like you said, the whole free to paid thing. And unfortunately, when it almost feels like we have to gatekeep a little bit or something. Or if I give them too much free value, why would they even join? Well, why would they not join? A lot of people, even if you give them what they need, like you give them a result, there's going to still need to know how to implement it, right?
Yeah. I mean, because there's information everywhere for free. So, I mean, there's been many times where I've joined a workshop and they gave away a lot. And I'm like, well, that was really cool, but I feel like I would get even more information if I talked to that person one-on-one or in a group setting. And so just getting that personal interaction with them afterwards is enough to
Right.
want to
It'd
buy
be
it.
like, if you've seen Alex, he's basically doing kind of like, he does the live almost one-on-one coachings recently on his YouTubes.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
And he's giving so much valuable information. It's something that if somebody had the same situation, they could take that and go see results by implementing what he said to do to whoever he was on the phone with. And so the reason why you want to give more results driven is because people are going to remember a result way more than like you're just informational doc, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I prefer workshops over master classes, because master classes is more informational based and a workshop is like, hey, no, let's actually sit down now. So if we were trying to help somebody with picking their niche, right? Because sometimes people are brand new, they have no idea what they want their niche to be about. So we're gonna, like, instead of like talking about doing all the market research on like which niches do well, we would actually sit down and talk about like, hey, what is it that you actually enjoy? Where do you spend most of your time? Like, go check out your most recent Google searches and try to see if there's anything that you've been searching and you've been wanting to know, or what are the things that you geek out on? Like, where do you spend most of your time on Facebook? Is it like, how many Facebook groups are about the same exact subject that you've joined, right?
What are you talking your friend's ear off about?
Yeah. What is your friend going to like lose their mind if you bring up one more time? You know? So those are those kinds of things where we'd have them write that down rather than it being informational, because we could just say that, but if we had a worksheet that went along with it and actually had them write it down, then it's not theory in their head. You've actually helped them by having them write it down. So that's what I mean by like leading with value, so that they have a result to take away with it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
In fact, we're gonna get down to that in just a minute, but this is important. You want to make it a taste of the win, because if they're experiencing like a good workshop with you and they're realizing, hey, this feels good, right? This person is teaching me. I vibe with how they're teaching me, right? Like they're getting to know if they would even be able to learn from you too. That's what the workshop is also helping with. And if they're thinking like, no, when I am around this person, I'm winning, like that's what you're giving them,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, they can walk away with it. And even if they don't join, you are now going to be the person that they recommend on this subject to anybody else. So
Right.
it's not about even just the people that you want to join from this workshop itself. It is about how far are you getting the word out about your help and are you getting people results,
And like you
right?
said too, like you're getting your personality out there, and they're hearing your voice, they're hearing your mannerisms. I'm not for everybody. I'm a lot. And so if I'm
Yeah.
getting out and I'm teaching someone something, the people that would think I'm a lot are not going to join. And that's great because I don't want people who think I'm a lot to join my group. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's doing two things.
Well, you just said you're a lot, so I mean, sometimes I just own it. Like for me, I'm like, if people don't want me to be honest, like if they don't like me being completely truthful, then I'm not for them because I am going to be. That's just a
That's
core
what I mean.
value of mine and integrity. So if people are not okay with the truth, then maybe don't come,
Can't
right?
handle the truth.
Yeah, because I'm going to say it. I know myself.
Let me pull up one quick comment here because it has to do with what we're talking about. If you don't mind.
All right, I'm going to switch over so I can see it.
Okay. Jennifer asked, what can a win for people for communities where the thing you were teaching takes a while to show results? Actually, I had the same question. So what if there's not necessarily a quick win?
There is a quick win. You're just not looking at wins the right way. Um, see that there's the truth. I told you I just spit it out, right? So, for example, sometimes the win is having the answers. So, what if and I know that this comes back more to like, well, isn't that more informational or more masterclass based? Let's say that I am gardening, right? And I am planning to build a garden. But I have had this question about like what are the best companion plants right now? Like can I plant my basil with my tomatoes, right? Like is that a good thing? And I yes, I could go on YouTube, I could go on ChatGPT and ask that, but I would rather have the comfort of knowing, like, if I'm actually going to put this, like, I've been paying for plants, for beds. You know how much dirt costs to fill up a bed? Just saying. Like, I want to know that
Oh, I
my
know. I'm going
money
through
and
that
my
right now.
time, my money and time are well spent. So the win could be, like, somebody could have a whole workshop on, like, companion planting. And my wins are now I know and I have written out, like you could do a whole diagram of like go ahead and like draw out where your beds are, and then let's start talking about like the distance that you need for planting. Are you going to use basil right next to your tomatoes? Are you going to be putting like onions and potatoes? Where are you going to put all this with how much you're wanting to grow, what you're wanting to grow, and the space in between? So I've walked out of it knowing that I now have a plan of where I'm going to be placing my plants. Now, is that meaning like my plants are already grown? No. You know, I know that I still have to go out there and plant them. Like, I'm going to still have to go out there and weed that. I'm still going to have to go out there and water it. But I do now know that as I made my plan for where I'm planting things, that I have used my resources the best way and I've used my time the best way. So that would be my answer to that is like find the thing that's going to make people feel like yes, I have an answer, yes, I win, yes, I can go forward and continue going, because guess what, now you can teach them like, well, these are the weeds that you need to make sure, and hey, you also need to like prune this, or like for tomatoes it would be like you need to cut the suckers off so it doesn't take all the nutrients from the rest of the plant. There's so much more that they could learn while they're planting, but that first one is like knowing, yes, I'm going to plant this, right?
And with the 101 of like gardening, of like getting them started, now they're going to go out and get all the things they need. And now they desperately need you for step 2. Right?
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep. And then like starting a seedling, starting now I'm gonna just go into a whole workshop about planting, right?
All right, here we go. All right, let's
It's
get
very
back to
relevant. I have so many garden beds that I need to do. But yeah, no. I definitely think that your win can be informational and you gathering the information, but make them feel like it's a win, right?
Yep.
All right, let me go back to sharing my screen.
Okay.
Da 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 da. Click all these buttons. Million screens. Okay. Then here's something that kind of like what I was just saying. It's like give them something to keep, right? So you could, for example of a gardening thing, because now we're on to gardening and not tying shoes, is that you could have like a little Canva doc where they can move the little garden beds around, right? It's basically like a lead magnet. You could do a lead magnet, you could do a template, you could do a checklist. It's something that you want them to have that's almost, it's tangible. So we're on the internet. The thing is that they could print this off, right?
Yeah.
If it's a garden thing, I'm definitely printing it off, right? A checklist, maybe I may or may not. Template, it's something that they would use. You want to give them something that they're going to remember you by.
Yep.
So, and this is funny. This is back to the days of like when I would do consulting for different businesses and we would take them to like trade shows or conventions. You know how people give out flyers and business cards?
Yes.
Those are the most waste of paper, your time, your resources, because who keeps business cards and who keeps flyers?
I don't. Immediately in the trash.
You want, and this is why you see a lot of businesses choose to get pens, right?
That's a
Well,
good one.
pens, because people are like, people value a pen, they're not going to throw it away. But people are not always going to be going to your pen. People have pens everywhere. Most people are using pens. What I would tell people is to do chip clips, because I've
That's
never
genius.
met a single person that has enough chip clips.
No. Always running out of
Right.
chip clips.
And I was like, make it a magnet too, because your chip clip should be a magnet that goes on your fridge that you can hold things up, or it's easy to find. It's not getting lost in a junk drawer. And that's like one thing that you can do. There's a lot of different ways that you can make an impact, but you want it to be something visible. Another good like lead magnet thing is like a book. This is why you see Hormozy do all these book things. Books are great.
Yeah. What about an ebook? Could you do an ebook too?
You can, but it's not something that they're sitting on their coffee table,
True.
right?
True.
It's something that usually is not going to actually be used or read, because they download the ebook. They might start it, but they might not finish it.
Right.
They might forget it. It might be lost in their files. So think of things that they're going to need to use and actually will keep, you know?
Well, we've talked about this before. There's been a couple communities that I've joined that came with a hat. And that made me feel so connected to that community because I'm literally wearing it. I felt a part of it.
And that is something that, like, if you're global, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, right? Because are you going to really want to ship the hat to Thailand?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But if you have something that's like where somebody is going to buy in and you can fit it in there, I would definitely try to like send them something that's merch. Like tie the resource to you. That was like part of this part right here. And it is, well, here's another thing. I used to have companies like a brand company, and they were having a problem with like they wanted to have merch for their company. But they wanted merch to be something that people wanted to buy. And here's the thing. Skool can get away with charging for their merch, right? But they're not charging enough for where it makes the money, right? I think even Sam has mentioned like they lose money on the merch.
Yeah, I
they
think
keep it
so.
high quality, but it helps cover a little bit of the cost. But people are sold on Skool, and they're like, people are fans of Skool. People will buy that. Now most places coming out with merch, it's like you come up with a design. You could even have your community help you come up with a design, but I would rather see you like give them merch.
Yeah.
Like send it to them, because or make it where it's like the little workaround is like you have to reach like a level or you have to reach something, and then it's like it's unbuyable merch where it's like you can't buy this unless you've reached this status, whether it's a level or time unlock or you completed one of their courses or whatever. Because merch is mostly a marketing expense. Okay. But you are tying the resource to you because it says usually we'll have like your name on it or something. Same with like the templates or the checklist. Put your name on it. Make it clickable. In fact, give me 1 second. I'm gonna unshare my screen so I can go find this. I did this just recently with the checklist that I made for the workshop, and I did it because I knew we were gonna do this today. But I wanted to show you by example like one thing that you can do. 1 second.
You're good. You're good. Jennifer says that chips are super relevant to her community. You're gonna have to explain that one to me later. I'm curious how chips can be relevant to that.
Sorry, I had to turn on Blippi.
Hey, I get it. We love Blippi
right.
around here.
Let me share my screen again. All right, so when I did this checklist, because this was the target audience research, not only did I put what is Skool on here, which is relevant to the brand, I also made this clickable. So there's a link tied in. So if you didn't remember, I was adding a checklist so that you guys could go back and use it if you want. But this is what you would do, like if you were going to present, if I was doing a target audience research workshop, where we're going to go into a community and I'm going to help you guys do target research and then create posts from it or create the next 30 days worth of content that you're going to do. I'm going to want to give something like this away because it is going to help you remember when you're using it that, oh yes, I got this from What is Skool. And then there's also the availability for clicking a link. Now I have to give a little like sidestep to this. Sometimes people want to do resources inside Schoolers. If it has a link in it, we will delete it. Just a warning.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it elsewhere, this would be good. And if you're doing this inside of a community, which we'll get to in just a minute, you could have this link be their affiliate link. So you'd have multiple, and you'd be like target audience research checklist, traffic lounge. And then I would know that this is the one with your affiliate link tied to it, right?
That's pretty cool. I love the colors too, how it matches your brand.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's
actually School's brand. Yeah. Canva's goated.
Mm-hmm. It is. And there's different ways that you could do this also. Like if you're wanting to capture people's emails too, you could make it like, hey, go to this website and here's the checklist. Well, you can make a website with Canva. Mm-hmm. And then you could have it be where once they enter their email, it sends you to this next Canva link. So there's a lot of different things. Maybe we'll do a thing on that sometime.
Yeah, we probably should. Jennifer also says that she does sticker sets for her leaderboard. So when you reach level 9, you get all the stickers. That's cute. I like that.
That's cute. Everybody likes stickers, right? I have so many stickers and I don't put them on anything. I don't know why I do that. I just have stickers that's like lay around being stickers. The other thing is teach it simply. So don't do it like how I'm doing it today, where I'm very ADHD and all over the place. But if you have it step by step, you can, and it's easy, then they can follow along so that they are able to get to that win. You don't want, a lot of times people forget this, and this is like going back to about pages and all these other stuff. It's people can make a choice when they have clarity. Mm-hmm. So your workshop is giving them clarity on what it's like to work with you, what it's like to get a win with you, and what your subject is on. Do I think that I'm going to be able to get my outcome that I want by joining your community based on could I get my outcome from this workshop with you? So that's why you want to teach it simply. Make sure you keep it focused on them getting the quick win without being overwhelmed. You don't want to also put so much information into your workshop that it feels like I don't know. I think the reason I'm gonna sidestep to where I want to say I know a lot of people will try to add more value, and it's almost like you're trying to prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to
Look how
prove
much I
that you
know.
are valuable. Yeah. And that's why you see crowded about pages or crowded offers, as they're just trying to prove how much value they have. It is way more valuable to show somebody that you can give them value on the one subject that they came to learn in that moment, and then add on to the value. Make it, it's like a relationship. Could you imagine if somebody went on a first date with you and they told you their whole life story in the matter of like 20 minutes while you're waiting to get your meal,
It's like,
and you're
what the
just
heck
like,
is wrong with you?
oh, thanks for the trauma dump. You know.
And also, how much of that are they even going to remember if you just give them everything in one sitting?
Yeah, well, they're gonna remember you for sure. You're gonna be talked about. You know, their mama is gonna know how intense that was. You know, so you don't want to overwhelm them with the intensity of knowing that you are valuable. In fact, it's better and more confident for you to come with your one thing that you want them to have the outcome on, and then be able to stand there in the confidence knowing that you have more value beyond this, right? So you're a little bit of a mystery. It's like, how much does this person know? You know.
Right.
Yeah, just continue to awe them with how much value you have over time, and not all at once.
Yeah.
And then yeah, this is part of it. It's just connecting the dots, right? So once you've helped them learn, like, now I have a full garden bed that I can plant, and I feel good that I'm not accidentally destroying the other plants around it by planting this one thing there. You want to help them know that this is just one part of the bigger process inside your community. So now we're going to go over like getting on a routine for weeding. Well, this is how much water it needs. By the way, we're also going to talk about like shade and how much sun your plant needs. What do you do if you have grasshoppers take over? Those little mother truckers. I hate grasshoppers so much.
They're the worst.
Yeah. But I mean, like, all these things, you're going to talk about these processes and make sure that they understand that inside your community, you're coming and overcoming with them some of their bigger pain points too. Because this workshop was just a taste of what it's like to be in your community and like getting the win and all that. But I promise you, your one little workshop is not fixing everything in the world for them. There's more things in their world. There's more language that if you did your target audience research, you will know what pain points to bring up. This is where you could share stories. This is also where you could talk about, like, connecting the dots could be where you share some of like the stories of your previous customers. Be like, so Sam, I know he has chickens and all of that, but he's out there in the garden and he's like, man, all these grasshoppers are such a pain. And I know my chickens love to have grasshoppers. Well, one thing that he did is he went through our workshop of building like little fencing that where your chickens aren't going to destroy your garden, but they still can get all those grasshoppers. And now that he's been in the community, he's had well-fed chickens, he's getting great eggs, and the grasshoppers are not destroying his garden, you know?
It's kind of
So
giving
that's
the
like,
same thing as About Page Wednesdays. It's the proof, promise, plan kind of thing. Kind of has
Yep.
all that in there too.
so this is like the taste of giving them a little bit of the plan and going through it, right? And then you want to invite them in. Way too many people have done workshops and then just left it hanging.
Wait, we have to do CTAs?
Yes. You have to do a CTA. And for people that don't know what CTA means, actually, this is one of my biggest problems with business stuff is like all the jargon that
Yeah.
people don't know. CTA is a call to action. So you're basically giving them direction of what to do next. So you're positioning your community as the place where they continue to get more help. And you can drop your link, give them the clear next step to what to do, like once they get inside and keep going. Be like, hey, I'm going to go ahead. Like I've just told you what's inside the community. I connected the dots. Now you know what's in there. Here is the link to my community, and you can go ahead and join. When you get in there, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go introduce yourself. So everybody else, like, this is the community thing. We want you to get involved and meet the other fellow people. Sometimes you'll meet your next best friend that is going to also share the pain of freaking grasshoppers with you. You know,
Yeah.
you're
And
telling them where to go.
and I was in a workshop not too long ago, and when someone was doing their CTA, they also said, Tuesday, we're talking about this specific thing, which would have been like step 2. And so it's just giving them like another reason why they would want to join. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you're doing it online, you're like, let's say you're doing it in a community and you're doing where you can screen share. Screen share what your community looks like. Like, don't be weird. Show them your community. Because it's kind of like when we say, if you show your community on the About page, I don't know if we've actually brought that up on a Wednesday yet, but if you show them a little bit of what's inside, then they know what to go for. Like, so if I was telling them to go introduce themselves, I would say, here's the post where you introduce yourself. By the way, then go to my classroom, and I'd show them the classroom, be like, start here with this classroom. Make sure you get through all this, because this is going to be the next steps that you'll want to follow. And then here's our calendar, and this is all the calls that we're going to be on. Pick a calendar topic that is going to make sure that you want, and so go ahead and save it to your Google Calendar or whatever,
Yeah,
so you don't miss it.
that's great.
Now, you can strengthen the close, especially if it's a paid community, by turning on a free trial for about 5 minutes. So you don't have to do this. This is completely optional. Some people hate free trials. Okay, no problem. But you can do, if you want to, you can turn on a free trial. And this is how I would do it. I'd be like, all right, for the next, now that like I've told you what's inside my community and everything, I'm going to go ahead and turn on a free trial, because now you'll be able to make the informed decision from the inside on if the community is for you. That's a little small piece from like a bigger, longer way of saying it that Hormozy has shared. But they're able to jump in, and you tell them the window of how long it's going to be on, because you don't just keep it as a free trial on forever. And you're kind of giving them the join now while it's still available. And let's say for the next 5 minutes while this free trial is on, if any of you guys have questions before you jump in, so think about the lingo. When you say, if you have any questions before you jump in, you're already assuming that they're going to jump in, right?
That's good. That's good.
We don't need to. Some people go, oh, I don't want to like make it sound like I'm going to require them to jump in, or I
If
don't
you
want it
want
to sound pushy.
if you want
Yeah.
to join in, if you feel like it, then
Maybe if you decided you like this, yeah, no. You need to have the confidence. You are the instructor. Remember, you're the one with the authority. You're the one with the credibility. So part of that is knowing that I feel confident in you, feeling confident in yourself about what the hell you're teaching. Okay? There's no reason for you to waver or be like, if you decide you want to join, then I'll answer some questions if you have any. No, just be like, it's open for the trials on for the next 5 minutes during this time. If you already are sure, go ahead and jump in. If you have questions, go ahead and drop them now. You know,
because you are an
I will be
expert,
answering
you do know what the hell you're talking about. You're smart. I mean, you're an expert in this field, and they want someone like you. So be confident.
now I'm also, this is where it's like, it's hard to give you one workshop that works for everybody, right? Because there's going to be people that started a community and they don't feel like an expert because they're still new to it, or they're like, we're doing this together as we go. If that is you, then you can say, ask me questions about what I've learned up to this point, right? You can word it in such a way where it's like, I am an expert in like where I've been, or if you want to jump on and ask a question about where I learned how to do XYZ, right? Or where am I going for my information?
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop those questions. Because you can still answer even if you don't feel like an expert based on what you have already done and accomplished, right?
Yeah. Because even if you're just a step ahead of them, you still are a step ahead.
Now, when we were going to talk about pitching, so, because like when I made this post, we're talking about pitching a workshop, creating them, and then converting them into members. Right now, we've gone into creating them and converting them into members, right? What I wanted to say is as far as pitching goes, I wanted to leave it as the last step optional part, because you could do a workshop for somebody and it be completely like your link, and people would want you to do this because it's just extra value to their community members. But there is an optional part of pitching it where they are an affiliate. So let's say you wanted to have this community owner do a workshop with you and you didn't pay to do the workshop, and they didn't just say, "Oh yeah, that would be great for my people. Could you please come add more value?" And you're like, "I'm going to have to offer something here." You can say, if you join, if I can give you an invite link to my community, we'll grab your affiliate link, and then I will be pitching it your affiliate link in this workshop. So if anybody joins from your community, you'll be getting affiliate commission.
Yeah.
That is probably the easiest way to get a yes. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell him to stop this.
Oh, you're okay. Actually, that's really, really smart, because it's an easier yes, because if you have an affiliate turned on for, like, I don't know, 40%, when you give that owner, or when you, at the end, when you give out the link to your community and it's that school owner affiliate link, they're getting 40% of that. So it's a little easier for them to say yes, because they're getting like a small cut out of it. And we can ask Jenna when she comes back what's a good percentage that she recommends to say. I've heard a lot of people say 40%, but we'll ask what Jenna has to say here. Actually, I got a bunch of more questions for Jenna. We'll have to do a part 2.
So we got a metal 10, and he's been throwing it around, and I'm like, oh, boys.
It's all right. So what percentage of affiliate is you kind of see as the norm?
There's not.
Okay.
I see it ranging from anywhere from between like 30% being the lowest and the highest being 50%.
Okay. That's what I've kind of thought, like around 40% is kind of what I've been saying, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I would say, all right, so there is actually, I'm going to just shout it out right now. Hold on, let me pull it up.
No, you're good.
There is a community that I think everybody should be in, and I'll explain why in just a minute.
Everybody needs to join.
It's a free one, so I have no problem just full on sharing it. School of Finance. So right here, you'll see James, and you'll notice, who is this person that looks like Sam? He's the financial controller at Skool. Like,
okay,
when Sam got his picture for that he uses for everything, he was taking a picture with him at the same time. Like, they've been together. It always cracks me up when Sam and James are in Schoolers at the same time, because you know how like these little pictures show up here? They'll be right next to each other, and I was like, James, are you an imposter?
That's so funny. I had no idea this community even existed, so this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a great community. I definitely think everybody should be in it. His whole thing is like, he really wants people to understand finance, like whether it's the personal or business finance, and he's doing this whole thing for free. He does calls with them. He'll answer your questions about like different things when it comes to affiliates. Or there was a whole time when the $9 plan came out, we talked to him and we were like figuring out why did it take so long for Skool to have a $9 plan? What were kind of like the concerns? And he just went over all of that information. It was very information friendly and cool. I love his like School of Finance brand loading.
Yeah, I would love to hear that from him. That's interesting.
So I would say definitely jump in there and feel free to ask questions. Like, it might not, I know he doesn't put, because he's obviously doing a lot with all the other stuff he does at Skool, but to get in there and ask questions, like, you could ask questions and he would be happy. He would be so happy to answer those for you.
Awesome. Well, shout out James, School of Finance.
Yeah, and he's very friendly. Don't feel scared to get on a call with him. He's really nice and down to earth. So, but yeah, no, I would say probably, I think they say 40%. My thing is like, start lower and then work your way up higher, because you don't ever want to go lower. Okay.
True. True.
because it changes it for everybody.
Oh yeah. That's something I forgot. You can't have different affiliate numbers for everyone. Like once you set it, it changes it.
Yep. So start lower and then work your way up, because you also, a lot of people don't even understand the difference in like how much the cost is, especially if they're doing ads, and you want to see a return on your time and your money and all of that. So the ROI, which is return on investment. So anyways, when we're going back to the affiliate option, if you invite an owner in so that you can give them the affiliate link, at the beginning of your workshop, you're going to thank the owner and acknowledge them for hosting. This is important because guess what? You have just built trust with everybody there. Everybody at that workshop in that person's community knows the community owner already, and they're going to be happy to praise the owner. Like, that's a thing.
Yep,
You can
it
be
is.
like, thank you so much, Eric, for letting me host it, like for hosting this. We really appreciate you. Let people know again, you're going to do the whole setting expectations. You're going to give real value and results on the workshop. But I do want you to drop the affiliate link early. Now, this is very specific that because you're in Skool, you need to do it this way. Is because if somebody from this call, so like let's say we're doing a workshop in Eric's, and I'm inside Eric's community, I'm telling everybody to join my community at the end. Well, somebody might not be able to be there for the full workshop. Just like there's some people that may listen to part of the morning show and then they're not here for the rest of it, but they're going to come back and listen later. A lot of people, those people, will just go ahead if they already have figured out that they want to join the community. They're going to go look it up on somebody's profile, click it, and join it so they don't forget.
Yeah.
Or they want to get in early.
Because there's probably going to be a lot of people just listening back to the recording, and the earlier you do it, the better.
The thing is that if that person joins without that community owner's affiliate link, they are locked in. You cannot go back and have them join via affiliate. They cannot leave and then come back and then rejoin.
Okay. 'Cause
It is
the
locked in.
cookies.
This is something Sam built into Skool, and there is a very good reason for it. There's a lot of, like, he's even admitted this before, that a lot of his time is spent on fighting bad actors, people that do things that are not good, people that would go into a community, make a connection with somebody, then they're going to be like, well, you leave and you rejoin with my affiliate link. Like, he did not want that happening, because there's a lot of people
makes
that are like,
sense.
well, let's get this cheaper, right?
Yeah,
And
that
so
makes sense.
now it locks in, and it's locked in once they've joined the community. So drop the affiliate link early in the chat so it's available. But here's how you make it not feel too pitchy at the very beginning, because you just thanked the owner. Okay, you can be like, since Eric decided to host this for us, I want to be completely fair to Eric, right? So as I've already told you, I'm going to be helping you get this win. We're going to go over real value. We're going to get some results actually from this workshop. But then remember, at the end, if you felt like I delivered on the value and you feel like you got the win, I'm going to go ahead and also tell you about where you could get more help in this subject, where you could, obviously, like, I'm going to still help you with tying your shoes, right?
Or making a garden.
Making a garden. So, but because Eric's been so gracious to host us here, I'm going to go ahead and drop his affiliate link, because he's done the job of like hosting us here. He's provided this workshop to everybody. So we want to make sure that Eric gets credit for having that. So in
That's
case you
brilliant.
can't stay until the end, if you can't stay till the end, or if there's at any time you're like, I already know that I want to join and I want to go ahead and lock it in, I'm dropping his affiliate link now so that you have it available. Okay,
And
this is just
that's
to
great,
make sure
bec-
that they get credit.
What's so great about that is they already probably really like that community owner. They trust that community owner, and by joining your community with the owner's affiliate link, they almost feel like they're helping out the owner as well. So it makes them want to join more, I would think.
Yeah, in fact, they're also it's gonna remind them, because if at any point in the thing, while they're like, they get excited because of the results or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, I already know, I'm all in. They'll remember because you said it at the beginning. There's an affiliate link, so they'll be on the search for it, right? If somebody's listening to the recording, instead of them like closing the recording out and then going and joining your community, they're going to close the recording out, look for the affiliate link, because this person could do a recording and then post it in their community. They could put the recording, but it is at the bottom where it usually says like see more. And that person may miss the see more and the affiliate link. And it's always awkward to be in a community with somebody where you didn't use their affiliate link.
Yeah.
Or you like, your member came and like they didn't use your affiliate link. You're like, did you not want to like give me credit or whatever?
Exactly.
So this is from experience, right? I did a workshop and we didn't put the affiliate link at the beginning, and I realized, oh man, this is where we messed up. This is why I make this known, is like, you want to make sure that you're putting it at the beginning and you keep it low pressure. Be like, it's there. I'm not telling you guys to join now. I want you guys to actually like, don't join now. In fact, you can say it like that. Don't join now. I don't use this affiliate link until we've gone through this whole thing and you know that you're going to get results, that you even vibe with the way that I teach. You can just make it very clear and chill, right? People like that like little release,
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
And then encourage them, be like, I know, and if you can't stay to the end, I do encourage everybody to stay, right? Because I want you to get the results, right? Like, we're walking through this, because you don't want it to be like, oh, I did this, and then I'm also encouraging them to not stay, or that it's okay to leave. And you'd be like, I want you to get the results today. But obviously this person's recording it too, so if you need to go back to the recording, you can. So that's how I would do the workshop. We would go over, make sure that you have it all good and like laid out first before you even pitch it. Mm-hmm. But if you do want to go pitch it, you just hit them up. Be like, I know that your community is full of these people. They're my target audience too. I think that this would bring value to your community. It would be another resource for your community members to, even if they don't join my community, they'd still have this win, and this could help your people. And then you can pitch it like, if you want to offer the affiliate thing, you can, or you could just say, hey, I'd like to provide this inside your community. Would you be open to that?
Can I ask you a quick question?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
How would you go about choosing communities to pitch? Like, how do you, which communities would you want to actually do your workshops in?
I would say you need to make sure that it's a community that you already vibe with too. Okay. Mm-hmm. So join some communities that you're interested in. Get to know the community first a little bit, because like, you don't want to go into somebody's space and not know the way that they interact with each other. Because some people, they're going to be more serious, so you need to know that your tone needs to be more serious. There's some that it's like most like jokester style, right? So maybe throw some jokes into like your workshop, right? Mm-hmm. But if you already know your target audience, then you need to make sure that when you join the community, that they are actually talking about stuff that is on topic for something you could help with, something that you vibe with. Don't go into it judging people too harshly. Way too many people, I hate this part. It's like they go, well, I don't think that they would be who I am interested in. I don't think that they have the money to join my thing. Like, I don't think that this is where my audience lives. And in such a way to where I'm like, I can disprove it in seconds, but like, just know I'm rolling my eyes really hard, because it is where, if they are at all interested, if there's any kind of correlation to where they might be, if you start already prejudging them, then like, you shouldn't be doing this in the first place. But you're missing out on the fact that like, they could have the money to do something. They could be the people that you want to help with, and like, they might even have the same similar interests. Or there's the other part where they might know someone, right? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of this is word of mouth too. Like, you're doing the workshop for the people that show up, for the people that watch the recording, and for all the people that they know that also need your help. And so you're wanting them to also be able to bring those people in.
Yeah.
So.
And also, maybe don't cold DM a bunch of community owners that you don't know.
If you cold DM community owners and you don't know anything about them, then there's likelihoods that maybe you're saying, I'm going to teach them what you already teach. And then they'll be like, what the hell? You know, like, no. I've had people that ask those kinds of things, and I'm just like, how out of touch are you? You know, like,
Right.
were you even paying attention? You clearly were not even in the community for this purpose. You just were joining the community to bypass like a chat restriction or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I don't even answer them, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you do that, if you don't know what their community is like or who they are, maybe you're even like, what if somebody was teaching how to pitch workshops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't pitch them the way that they teach,
Right.
right? That would be weird. I've had people that have asked to like work with me, and they're like, "Hey, could I help be like a moderator or an admin?" I'm like, I don't even respond because
Who
they
are
didn't
you?
even go through, like, they didn't even go through the fact that I teach how to do that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're not going to vibe because you don't even know what it is that I teach. So
So you
go
don't want to
into the
pitch
community.
someone. You don't want to pitch someone that's exactly like you, but you also don't want to pitch something so far off. Like, I'm not going to go into like the pickleball school and be like, hey, you want to learn about podcasting?
Right. Like, you wouldn't want to do that unless they were specifically bringing up that they have a podcast coming up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there is some times where, so let me give you an example. The pickleball school, if they're about to start a podcast and people have been asking them, like, well, how did you get started? Because
Then
they're
maybe it could
interested
work.
in having it, then yes. So be where you can find out if people are going to be interested in your topic. That's what I would
Makes
say.
sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Well,
Do we have any comments?
breaking news. We have
Breaking
a comment.
Yay. I didn't put a breaking news today.
That's why I did
Whoops.
it. I studied Rob Proctor material, and he gave it all away for free. He paid $6,000 to be part of the coaching programs, and it was just all the same stuff. But he was okay with giving the money because he knew it was all in one place. And yeah, that's something that we were talking about earlier about giving away free versus paid. Like when I'm making YouTube content, I'm just going to give all my stuff away for free. But if they want to, actually talk to me, like with my voice, or if they want everything in one place, it's still worth the money.
Cool. I like that.
Yes.
So that made you feel like it made you feel like this is a person that you now can trust, right? Like that's that
Yeah.
whole thing. It's like, man, if your free value is this good, like how good could your paid value be?
Exactly. And it's similar to podcasting. When you're being interviewed, you're kind of borrowing trust from that podcaster. You're kind of borrowing trust from that other community owner because, like, well, this person trusts you enough to let them speak to me. So obviously, you know what you're talking about.
Very
Yep.
true.
Yep. But I believe that's all we got for today.
Okay. Did you check yours too? Make sure.
Jennifer says she's running out of room on her sidebar for new communities. Talking about the School of Finance.
I love it.
Maybe
That's-
another day we can talk maybe a little bit about Canva. Maybe we can talk about maybe making the slideshows for these workshops, or there's a million and one things we could talk about with that. But we got a full week ahead for next week too. Next week's back to normal. Spring break is over, so we might bring some people up here with us to talk. So that might be fun. It's going to be a good
we
week.
will put the schedule out on Sunday because we'll talk about what the schedule will be, and then we will share it with you. And if there's ever something that you want us to talk about,
Yeah, let
you're
us know.
welcome to request it.
Yeah, if you're curious about anything at all, anything to do with school, online communities, traffic, anything.
Or anything about shoes or gardens.
Or gardening. Or how to tie your shoes in a garden.
Yeah. Or making a garden in your shoes, Like,
Yep, I'm
you
going
got some
to
old shoes. They could be little planters.
I got a
This has
cucumber
been
in my
a
Nikes.
wild Friday.
Okay, guys, we'll see you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.